In this training, we are going to look at how to insert branch circuit devices on the single line diagram in Revit using ElectroBIM. In ElectroBIM, we have two types of devices. We have what we call distribution equipment and branch circuit devices. These are categories that we've come up with to help keep track of what we're talking about. So they are a little bit specific to our software. Distribution equipment in Revit is all of your electrical equipment. It's your panels, your transformers, your switchgear, everything that feeds other electrical devices. And then branch circuit devices are all of the loads at the ends of your branch circuits that are actually using the power that's being provided. When we are doing work with our software, distribution equipment and branch circuit devices are handled a little bit differently. So by default, all of our commands are going to be looking at distribution equipment for insertion on the single line diagram, but not branch circuit devices. So if I run our insert link command, it's going to pull up a list of all the equipment in the project. This is all of the distribution equipment by default, all of your panels, all of your transformers. It is not listing your branch circuit devices. So all of your light fixtures, your receptacles, your motors, they're not being listed here. And the reason for that is that there's a lot of branch circuit devices in a project. Most of it does not belong on the single line. So by default, we're not showing the branch circuit devices. However, some of those branch circuit devices you want to show on the single line diagram. So we're going to talk in this training about how to get those devices on the single line diagram. There are a couple of different ways that we can do this. The first way I want to look at is the insert link command. When you run the insert link, you have the select from model button. This will let you select anything in your project and put it on the single line diagram. If you don't have the plan up and you switch to it, it's actually going to cancel the command out. So what you want to do is you want to go to a view where you can see the device that you want to insert. So I'll open up this power plan and we're going to insert one of these receptacles. Now I can run insert link. And if you're on a plan like this, it's not actually going to open up that dialog because we're not on a drafting view. It knows that you probably want to select something. So it's going to prompt us at this point just to select something. So that skips opening that dialog and pressing the select from model button. I can select this receptacle. And then it's going to prompt us for the graphic on the single line diagram. Let's go ahead and use this equipment connection. And we'll locate it single line diagram, and then it'll draw the circuit connecting it to a panel. So that's a straightforward way to insert a single device on the single line diagram using the insert link command. You can also have that device show up in the insert link and also be inserted during the generate commands. And the way you can do that is by going to your device here. There's actually a couple different ways we can do this. I can select the device and I can run our instance edit command. And by default, this device is not being shown on the single line. So we can change that from no to yes. And now if we go to the insert link command, that device is going to be listed there because we've said we want to show this on the single line. So it's going to show it as a device to be inserted. It is also going to show up if we run either of our generate commands. So if I run generate one line, it's being listed here as a device that's not yet inserted. So I can use the generate command to insert this. So I can select that upstream panel, click OK. It's going to insert everything downstream, which is just that one device that we added. So it's actually on the same feeder as this other receptacle. So they're being fed from that same feeder. So if you want the devices to be inserted automatically, you need to specify them as being on the single line diagram. Then the generate command can get them in there for you. You can also specify that at the family level. So if you know that all of your pieces of equipment you want to show on the single line, you can actually do that in the family. So I'm going to take this cooling tower, and you might want to have this family set up so that every time you have a cooling tower in your project, you want to show it on the single line diagram. We can run edit family in Revit, and then run the ElectroBIM family edit command. And here we can change the show on single line diagram. It's set to default. And for branch circuit devices, it's no, distribution equipment is yes. We can change this to yes since it's a branch circuit device. And now it's going to be shown on the single line diagram. Load that into the project. If we run instance edit and select that piece of equipment, you can see that the show on single line diagram defaults to yes. And then if we do any of our commands on the single line diagram, you can see that that device is being listed here. And same if we run our generate, it's going to be listed here as well. And if we do generate, it'll insert automatically. And so now it's inserted, and then we can go clean this up. Over here, there's a question about why it's being drafted with this piece coming off before the breaker. And the answer for that is that the automatic generation is pretty good, but it's never intended to be 100% perfect. Our generate is not really keeping track of the breaker and everything else as well as maybe you would like, particularly on these branch circuits. So it's doing the best it can. In this case, it didn't do very well. So for something like this, you would want to come back and clean up this drafting. Yeah, so I'm just adjusting it. You can also obviously use the feeder auto draw, and you can use the feeder manual draw to adjust this as well. So if it comes in and you're not happy with the drafting, that's why we have all the rest of these commands available to adjust the drafting.